Hey guys, welcome in this video. I hope that all of you are doing great. So in this video, I'm going to explain you guys how to actually trade like the banks, what you need to know about that, and how you can actually do it yourself in your trading. So I'm really excited to explain you guys this. So just before that we start, as always, don't forget to leave a like under the video. I would really appreciate it. And also make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. If it's not already done, it would just support me with doing these free videos for you guys. So as I said, what we're going to talk about is how to trade like the banks. Now, first of all, let me explain you guys why that is important to understand. So in the markets, you basically have two different categories of traders. You have people who work in hedge funds, investment banks, stuff like that. And then you have all the retail traders. So basically you and I, people who trade at home, from their desktop, and they try to make money on markets, right? Now, what you need to understand first of all is who makes big money on markets. Well, the answer is quite simple. You have all the hedge funds, the investment banks who make most of the money on markets. And then you will have a handful of retail traders, so people who trade at home, who also make a lot of money, but it's the minority. It's not everyone. It's a very few people in this category who can make a lot of money, and all the other people are just basically break even, making some money or losing money as well. All right. And so, well, what you have to understand from this is that, well, if you want to increase your probability of becoming a successful trader and making money with the markets, well, what you need to do is simply trade like the banks, right? It makes a lot of sense. If these guys are making most of the profit on markets, well, all you need to do is learn how they do it and then do it yourself, right? It's pretty straightforward. It's pretty simple. Now, that is the big question. How do they trade, right? How can you even trade like them? Is that even possible? Well, the answer is yes. So just to highlight you guys, how much money these guys are actually making, I will put a screenshot right here. If you read the screenshot, you will see that this table basically shows you the daily revenue for their positions in 2020. And so what you can see is that, first of all, the number of days where they make money is much bigger than the number of days where they lose money. So they make a lot more often money than what they lose. And when they make money, they also make much more money than what they could lose when they lose. So not only do they make more money when they win, but they also win more often. So they have incredible returns, right? Like their performance is just truly amazing. And here, right, what you see here is how you optimize your trading. This is what we call optimization. All right. It's not the average retail trader strategy. It's not something that, you might think it works for some time and then after that it's not going to work. No, it's no bullshit. It's no, new strategy or anything like that. It's the, most optimized way to trade and to make money on markets, right? If you look at any other big hedge funds or investment banks, you will see that their results are very similar, simply because they all trade in similar ways, simply because that is the most optimized way to trade. It's not something that is subjective. It's not my opinion. These results back what I'm explaining right now. All right. So now the big question, right? How to actually do this? How to trade like them? Well, honestly, guys, it's no big deal. It's not that complicated. You just need to follow the same process. So what is the process? Well, first of all, when they do their analysis, one of the main difference between, retail traders and traders who work at hedge funds is simply that they start with fundamentals. All right. So they will look at the macro stuff. They will look at the economy, politics, monetary policy, economic data, stuff like that. And from these fundamental informations, that is how they build their trading idea. Now, when it comes to retail traders, what most people do is simply that they go on the chart and they generate trading ideas from looking at the chart. But that is not the right process, right? You can see here we have a massive difference already. Your trading ideas should be generated by fundamentals. That is how the big players are doing it, and that's how you should be doing it as well if you want to, again, increase your probability of getting good results. So fundamentals are always number one. And then what they do is simply that they use technicals only as a timing purpose. So once they have their fundamental idea, once they know, in which direction they want to trade the market, all that they're going to do is simply go on the charts and they're going to use their technical analysis simply for timing purpose, as I said. So when to actually get in the trade. So they are going to wait for a confirmation of their fundamental idea, and then they will position themselves on the market in the same direction of their fundamental idea. How do they do this? Well, they mainly look at the daily chart. The lower time frames are not really used in long-term positioning into diversified portfolios. So that's really important to understand. If you want to be able to do this successfully, your approach should be more oriented toward medium to long-term trading. So forget about the 15 minutes chart, the 1 hour chart. There's not a single professional portfolio manager who uses these charts. So if you look at these charts, well, all that you are looking at are charts that other retail traders look at. So you're not, again, doing what you should be doing, right? So focus on the daily time frame. It's by far the most important one. And then when it comes to technicals, it's a fairly simple approach. Again, they don't really complicate themselves, right? They mainly use trend lines. Some of them use fibs. The RSI is by far the most used indicator in the hedge fund world. So, they keep it quite simple, right? It's, there's no magic indicator. There's no magic trading tool or anything like that. And then they look for, trends. They look for patterns. They look for breakouts, right? And stuff like that. It's really not more complex than that. The technical side of it is fairly simple. As I said, and that makes sense, right? Again, because they generate their idea from fundamentals, right? They decide if they're going to take a position from their fundamental. Again, right? The chart has nothing to do with that. The chart is only there for timing purpose. So when they see a breakout or when they see a certain level holding, right? Stuff like that, then they're going to take a position, but the position is there because of their fundamental idea. So the technical side of it, right, doesn't have to be super complicated. And so then after that, right, once they are in a trade, well, it's all about diversifying, their positions so that they don't, put all their eggs into one basket. So they will have multiple trade ideas, multiple positions that are medium to long term. This gives you a diversified portfolio, which again, increase the probability of consistency over the long term. And so then it's all about just managing risk, closing positions when the fundamental idea is no longer valid, and, opening new trades as well, so that the portfolio just stays constant and it just keeps growing over the long term. And there we go. That's pretty much it, right? I've really tried to explain it as simple as I can. And that's really the idea, guys. It's really no more complex than this. So re-listen to this video if you need to, but that is the exact process that all the hedge funds and the banks follow. That's the exact process that I follow as well. There's no secret. Nothing too fancy, right? If you want a lot more details about this and actually learn my own exact process of how I do it, well, the link of my course is always in the description box below. This is where I go much more into details of everything that we've just talked about today and actually show you guys how I do it on the charts, right? I've been doing this for years, and people really get to see every single trade that I've taken. So it's full transparency, and that's the whole idea of it, right? But there we go, right? That is the process. So I guarantee that if you guys simply apply this process, if you tweak certain things in your trading, results will simply get much better, because all of a sudden you will actually do what you're supposed to do on markets. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like. As I said, you can also share it around. A lot of people need to hear this, especially retail traders, right? So on that, take care, trade with care, manage your money well, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.